Hi, and welcome to this presentation for Programming Fundamental Project. For this project, our title is Capacitor Charging and Discharging Timer. For this Programming Fundamental program, the lecturer is Madam Muzalifa binti Muhammad Said. We are four in a group. So the first person is Sukrin Kamarina binti Azami. Second is Nurul Izzati binti Rahman. And myself, Amran Rahman. And Muhammad Arfi bin Muhammad Iskandar. The content of the presentation will be introduction, which will be explained by myself. The problem background will be explained by Mama Alfi, followed by scope of project will be explained by me. Future will be explained by Supreme Okomarina, and continued by source and output will be Nurul Izati, and the last one, the conclusion, will be explained by Mama Alfi. Alright, for the introduction, the capacitors are essential in electronic circuit. As we know, it is widely used in many types of electronic designs. So the applications for the capacitors is like timing circuits, filters, signal processing, and power supply. They help to control voltage, relay signals, and also smooth outputs. And for the important behavior, which is the charging and discharging over time, is capacitor don't charge instantly and they take time. For the formula, we use time constant formula, which is tau equals to R multiplied by C, which is R is resistor and C is capacitor. Is used to calculate how long the charging or discharging takes. And manual calculation can be slow and error prone, especially when especially when the values change frequently. So we use to control by resistance and capacitance. The two values decide how fast or slow the process is. And the project goal is to build a C program to estimate capacitor voltage so that it will be makes it easier to calculate and understand the behavior. So the program includes you have user input, so users can enter their own values, and the second one is menu system, which is easy to navigate, and the function is to organize the code better, and the file I/O to save the past results for reference. And last one is combines electronics programs and programming knowledge, which applies what you learn in both electronics and coding classes.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Aziz bin Iskandar. My number matric is B1224104887. For this part, my presentation about problem background. So we have a point. The first is capacitor play a key role in many electronic circuit. So this can commonly found in filter, timer, and power supply. Next is charging and discharging are core processor in RC circuit. They affect how the circuit respond and stabilize. So next part is we have two formula important. For the first is V bracket T equal V initial multiply exponent bracket negative T over RC. So this formula first is for discharging, and next the formula is V bracket T equal V max multiply bracket 1 minus exponent bracket negative T over RC. So this part for charging. Next point is repeating calculation can be a confusing and error prone. So this explain about especially when testing with different value. So next, manual calculation take time and increase risk of mistake. So a small error can lead to incorrect voltage prediction. So next, our solution develop a simple software tool use input value and get instant result. So the point software also save the result, useful for reference and future comparison. Next, for the last, grade for beginner and student. This is make it easier to understand capacitor behavior and verify the answer.
So the next part is scope of the project. Scope of the project, first you have developed a basic C program. So it is to calculate the capacitor voltage during charging or discharging. The main goal was to create a simple and educational C program that helps users to calculate the voltage across the capacitor and during charging or discharging. So it is meant as a learning tool, especially for electronics or engineering students. And the second one is user input. User input, you have capacitance capacitance C, resistance R, voltage V, and time. So the program uses these to compute the result. These four values are essential in calculating how the capacitor behaves in a circuit. The user is prompted to enter them manually and helping reinforce your understanding of what each value represents. And the third one is calculate time constant. So the formula is tau equal to R multiplied by C. It is to determine how fast the capacitor charges or discharges. So in this program, it will be um, automatically calculate the time constant denoted by the tau. This key concept in RC circuit as it determines how quickly the capacitor charges or discharges. The higher tau means slower response and vice versa. So the fourth one is the menu-based system. So user can choose between charging or discharging calculation. To make the program user-friendly, a simple menu is provided in this program so that user can choose between two options, whether to calculate the voltage during charging or calculate the voltage during discharging, so that this can make the tool interactive and also easy to navigate. And for the fifth one is file handling to save previous results. So it will allow users to refer back to old calculations easily. Once the calculation is done, the result is saved into a file we call result.txt. So this let the user refer back to the earlier calculation without needing to redo them, and also useful for assignment or lab report. So this coding is this program will be more useful for students. And the sixth one is limited to basic RC circuit. So the program is only to handle simple RC circuit. So there is no inductors, no diodes or complex AC analysis. So this helps keep the focus on understanding the basic capacitor behavior without overcomplicating things. And the last one is focus on simplicity and learning. It means to help students understanding and apply the capacitor formulas more efficiently. More than just getting the answer, the purpose of this to help students to learn. By manually entering the values and seeing the calculated output, users also can strengthen the grasp of the formulas and the concept of the time constant in capacitor circuit.
My name is Puteri Kamarina. Now I will be present about the flowchart. To begin with simulation, a menu will be displayed with four options: to simulate charging, simulate discharging, view save result, and exit the program. Once a choice is entered, the system will be verify the input. If option 1 is selected, the resistance, capacitance, and supply voltage will be requested. The time constant will be calculated using the formula equal tau equal to R times C. The charging voltage will be simulated using the exponential formula, and the result will be saved to a file. For option 2, similar input values will be collected. The discharging voltage will be simulated using a different exponential expression. This result will also be saved to a file. If option 3 is selected, previously recorded data will be checked. If available, it will be displayed. Otherwise, a message will inform that no charging or discharging data is available. Option 4 will exit the program. If invalid choice is made, an error message will be shown and the menu will be displayed again. This loop will continue until a valid choice or exit is made.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Zati. These are programs simulate how a capacitor charge and discharge using C language. These are library files std.h for input, stdlib.h for generate function, math.h for math operation. These are function declaration, and these functions are used to calculate the time constant, charging voltage, and discharging voltage. And this function is used to save the calculate data into a file for future reference. And for define max time step and max point, they are fixed value. Maximum time is a 5 second, time step 0.5 second, and maximum number of point is 20. This is a main function. It shows the input have a four choose option, and function for display the menu option. And for this formula for calculate time constant, calculate charging voltage, and calculate discharging voltage. This function open a file, write time and voltage value, then close the file and save charging or discharging into a text file. This is function for simulate charging, and this simulate discharging, and this function read and display the saved result for previous simulation. And now I can show you the output display. This is display for option, and we choose for 1, and 1K for capacitor. We take cost 0.002, and voltage we take 5, and this show time and voltage, and data save to charging data. And now we choose simulate charging. We can choose 2 and 5 and 4 0 and 700 ohm. For capacitors, we use 0.004 or 5 meter. And voltage we using 5 volt. And this show the time, and this is show volume time and voltage, and the data save to the charging data. And option 3, view data save. See this display a charging data, discharging data, like first option and second option. Confirmation, this calculate time constant. Lastly, we can choose 4 and exit and this. Thank you.
So this is a presentation for the conclusion. A basic C program was successfully developed. It means it calculates the voltage of a capacitor during charging and discharging. Next, here we have two main input category required by the program. First, the resistance and capacitor. Second, the voltage and the time. The next point, the program applies the correct formula. They calculate both the voltage and a given time and the time constant RC. Besides that, it includes a simple menu and file saving feature. This makes it user friendly and allows storing provide result for the future reference. In terms of programming concept, several key elements we applied, including loops, function, conditional, and file input and output. In addition, this project helped deepen my understanding of RC circuit, especially how the RC value affect how fast the capacitor charge of discharge. However, there are still some limitation in the circuit version. It has a no graphical interface GUI. It don't support inductor and it lacks graph display features. For future upgrades, a few improvement can be made at graph plotting capabilities, allow multiply time input for better comparison. In conclusion, this project offers a good combination of electronic and programming. It helps strengthen both my circuit theory knowledge and C programming skill. So thank you very much.